Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you guys so much for being here. For this video I have 6 really fun and really cute lemon themed DIYs to share with you guys. I am loving the way that they turned out and I can't wait to share them with you guys, so we're just going to jump right into it. For this first project I'm going to be using this wooden house that's from Dollar Tree and then this scrapbook paper that is from Michael's. And I'm just going to start by cutting out the scrapbook paper to fit nicely into the middle of the house on the background. So I'm just gonna kind of, get a rough kind of little outline edge and then use my scissors to cut it to size to fit on the inside of that wooden house. And once I had it all sized out, I just took a glue stick and I gave the back of the house a really good thick layer. And then I'm just gonna add that scrapbook paper right on top. And just smooth out all the ripples and the bubbles and everything, make sure it's nice and adhere to the back of that house. The house is totally cute with the lemon background, but of course I wanted it to say something, so I printed out Squeeze the Day using my Cricut machine, and I got inspiration from Savvy Crafts with Savannah. She made a cute little book stack using this saying, and I've been seeing it around a lot more lately, and I just really love it. It's super cute to go with that, the lemon theme. And anyways, that was it for this one. Here's how it turned out, you guys. So quick and easy, so simple, but just so cute. It's going to make, great tabletop decor. You can even add a hanger on the back to hang it up if you'd like, but yes, so cute. Alright, next project. This one is really quick and easy as well, but turns out, just so good. I'm going to be using those 3 picture frames that are from Dollar Tree, and then this lemon placemat that is from Dollar General. I just started by removing the little sayings that came on those picture frames, and then the little, it's like a square chunk, like a cardboard, because it makes the image like 3D pop off of that picture frame. So I took both of those pieces off, and then I just lined up these picture frames on the placemat to kind of, deciding where I wanted them, because I wanted the lemons to really pop through on the background of those frames. So I was just kind of, conscious and aware of where I was placing each of those frames. Once I had a good placement, I just took my razor blade and just started slicing those out. After I traced them with a pencil, I just traced them to get a good idea using the backs, and obviously that was a little bit bigger than the inset of the frames. So then I just had to make a few marks and then use my razor blade again to just cut those edges off to make them fit on the inset of each of those frames. So I just kept repeating this step until all 3 of the pieces that I had cut for each frame was going to fit perfectly, inside of those frames. And once that was all done, I just needed to take some hot glue. I took my hot glue gun and just started gluing those little placemat pieces into place. I just used a little bit of glue because I'm thinking about maybe changing out the backgrounds, for future holidays or seasons and whatnot. But this is how they turned out, you guys. How cute are they? So quick and so easy, but seriously, such an elevated look. I think these look really clean and classy. I like that I have the black frame and then 2 white ones on the side. You can hang these together. You can hang them separately. Yeah, there's so many possibilities there. Also, you can add the little pieces that I took off in the beginning, and that really brings them to, a whole different level as well, which I think would be really cute. I personally didn't do that, but I just wanted to show you that you could do that as well. For my third lemon DIY, I'm going to be using this little welcome fall sign that is from Dollar Tree, and then a couple pieces of scrapbook paper, again, that are from Michael's. I chose this black and white buffalo check and then also a black and white striped pattern. So I decided to keep, with the theme of the little the tabletop decor that I'm using from Dollar Tree with the buffalo check around the sides. So I just, took a glue stick and I started, giving it a good thick layer and then just adding that scrapbook paper on top and then just using my razor blade to just cut off the excess paper where, I didn't need it. And I did that until all of the outer sides were covered. After that, I just took the black and white striped paper and I did the same exact thing but on the front. I just thought it would be really fun, like a two-toned type of piece, and then once we add the lemons on there with the yellow color, like the black and white, everything just really pops, and I just love the contrast together. So here you can see the outer edges have that buffalo check, and then the top has that black and white striped pattern. Next, I'm going to be using these faux lemons that are from Dollar Tree, and I just take my little Dollar Tree saw and I just cut each of those in half. I, cut all 3 of them in half, so I have 6 pieces, but I only end up using 5, and I was totally happy with that. So I just kind of played around with them. I liked them a little slanted and like offset from each other. That was just personal preference. So after that, I just took my hot glue gun, and just glued those on top of there. Then I took my drill and a smaller drill bit and just drilled 2 holes across the top of the piece so I could hang some jute twine, because I'm just going to add a little hanger. I thought that would be a really cute touch for this piece. So once I made the holes and added the jute twine, I just tied a little knot at the bottom so the jute twine obviously didn't come out of the holes. And then I took these raw wooden beads that I ordered from Amazon and just strung those on until I was happy with the length. I kind of stopped here and there and held it up and looked at it and made sure I was happy with it. Once I took the white Waverly chalk paint and I just started painting all of those beads. I just gave them a really good all over coat of paint. And I did that before I tied the other strand in, so that way I didn't jeopardize getting any paint onto my project. After I had added the little hanger at the top and everything was tied into place and painted, I decided that I wanted to make a cute little bow to go at the top of that hanger. So I just took some ribbon that's from Dollar Tree. There's like a lemon pattern one and then a smaller like gingham check one. It's a black and white gingham check. And I just kind of layered those together because I really like the contrast of colors. Again, the pops of yellow, the white, and then the black. I think they all come together so nicely. So I just made a small basic bow to go at the top, and I used my jute twine to just tie it right at the top of the hanger. And then after that, I just dovetailed the ends because I personally like that look. That's just, personal preference. My next step was to add a cute little saying on top of the lemons, and I decided to use these rub-on transfers after I had tried using some of my vinyl from Cricut. I used my Cricut machine to print off the saying hello, as I'm adding right here with the rub-on transfers, but something with the vinyl, it was just not sticking on the material of the lemons. So the rub-on transfers worked super, super well. And I noticed that after the first 2 I did, because I was just using my finger, the other 3 I used this like scoring tool, and it worked so much better than my finger to really like adhere the rub-on transfers to the material on of the lemons. So I would definitely recommend using that if you're going to do this project. And here is how it turned out, you guys. How adorable is this one? Oh my goodness. One of my faves. I was kind of worried about this one in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't know if it was really gonna all come together, but I really feel like everything came together so well. I love it. You guys will definitely have to let me know what you think of this one. I'm definitely interested to hear what you have to say about it. Alright, on to my 4th project, and I'm going to be using this lemon-themed garden flag that is from Dollar Tree, and then also this splatter screen that's from Dollar Tree as well. And a really quick shout out to Shayna from Robinson Repurposing. She is the original creator of splatter screen crafts, so I've mentioned her before because I've done a few other splatter screen crafts, but again, I just, wanted to give her a quick shout out. So anyways, I just started by taking off the little knob on the splatter screen. I'm not going to need that anymore, but I do save these pieces because I never know when I'm going to be using, all the spare pieces to my projects. After that, I just started by cutting off the top of the garden flag that has like the hanger and stuff on it, just because I'm not going to need that part. And then I decided to take a black permanent marker and just go over the wording on the garden flag. The words are in like a greenish color, and that just really wasn't for me, so I decided to make it pop a little bit more. So I just colored in all of the words using that black permanent marker. After that, I just took a white like cardstock piece and I put the splatter screen on top, used the black permanent marker to kind of make a couple of dots, like a little outline of where I needed to cut, the size of the splatter screen. And then I just cut that out. And then I'm going to be using some spray adhesive that's from Dollar Tree as well. I gave it a really good coat. And then I'm just putting that garden flag right on top and smoothing everything out as much as possible. I just really wanted to make sure that I got out all of the ripples, because it comes folded up in its packaging. So I just wanted to smooth out the ripples and bubbles as much as I possibly could. Once it had time to dry, I just took my scissors and snipped off the excess garden flag. And then I just used my hot glue gun and glued it directly onto the splatter screen. After that, I decided to make a really cute, bow to go at the top. I did end up making 2 bows, but 2 different patterns. I don't know what it is, but lately I'm just into the two-toned type of look. So I did one with like a buffalo check, and then the other one is a black and white striped bow that is a little bit smaller. I just like the 2 different sizes as well. So once I was happy with my bows, I just took my hot glue gun and glued them into place right at the top. And then again, I took some more of those raw wooden beads from Amazon and I just strung them on some jute twine, and I just made like a small little circle to go at the top. I used my drill to drill a hole right at the top and then just strung those beads right there and tied them off. I liked the natural colored look, but you can definitely paint them if that's something you want to do. But here is how this one turned out, you guys. How stinking cute. So sweet. Home sweet home. I really love the lemon themed garden flag, but I don't know. I don't have a spot for garden flags. I don't know. I just like to repurpose them into other things. So front door decor or like a sign for your, inside your house. I think there's just so many possibilities for them. Alright, for my next project, I'm going to be using this lemon placemat again. That's from Dollar General. For $1, you really can't go wrong, and there's just so many things that can be done with placemats. So I always like to get a couple of them when I see really good patterned ones. And then I'm going to be using these leftover garden fences that are from the 99-cent only store. They were $1.99 a piece, and I used these in a previous video, and I always like to save everything. You just never know when you're going to need it. So I just started by prying off the little excess pieces that are kind of like sticking off, out of the sides. And once they were off, I sanded down everything to make sure there was no like rough edges or like little splinters popping out. And then I just took my Dollar Tree saw again and cut those pieces in half. After that, I took some special walnut stain and I just stained, every square inch of those pieces of wood. Once I realized they were way too long, way longer than the placemat, like the width of the placemat. So I just needed to measure those, and I took my saw again and just cut those to fit, from top to bottom of the placemat. And then I just took my hot glue and glued those right at the edges, right where the placemat curves. You can see that it starts to curve at the edge. So I just wanted those right at the end. After that, I used this Dollar Tree calendar, and of course, I'm going to be using the lemon theme one. So it says Gather Together, has like a black background. It's really, really cute. I just started by tearing off the edges around the wreath part, just in a circle, just like no rhyme or reason. I just thought it was really cool to have like a ripped paper look, so I just went with it. After that, I used some Mod Podge and a foam brush to just give it a really good coat on the back, flipped it over, added it on there, and of course smoothed out all the bubbles and the ripples. Once I had the piece glued in the middle, I just realized the wood pieces on the side were too far away from it, so I just pried those off and just kind of glued them back in a little bit closer to the calendar piece. I also decided to rip off some more of the calendar page as much as I could. I just really wanted to maximize the background. I really wanted to have more of the yellow and the lemons popping through. So once that was all good to go and I was happy with it, I took some of my Waverly Antique Wax and my small little chippy brush, and I just went around the edges of that ripped paper. And whatever was on the placemat, I just took a wet cloth and it wipes right off. So no need to worry there. I just really wanted it to be on the paper parts just to kind of give it an aged antique look. And it almost has this effect that it's it was worn away from the placemat, the placemat worn away, and that's what popped through, which I think is a really cool effect that it gives it. Alright, so once I was done aging it, I just took a razor blade and just cut off the excess pieces that are on the outsides of each of those wood pieces. Then I just took the cardboard that came in with the calendar and I glued that onto the back just to give it a little bit more stability, just to make it a little bit more sturdy, I guess. Then I used this leftover picture frame stand, and I just kind of played around with it how I wanted it to sit on this piece that I was working on, and once I was happy with the placement, I just took my hot glue gun and glued that into place. There you have it, another quick and easy lemon themed DIY project. So cute. I really like the, the characteristic that the wood gives it on the outer edges, and then of course that like ripped paper with the antique look. I absolutely love it. And I made mine to stand up like on the table or whatnot, or on a little shelf that you have. But I mean, you can totally add a hanger on the back. It can be hung up, or whatever else you wanted to do with it. Add like a beaded hanger at the top. The possibilities are endless for sure. Alrighty, on to the last project for this video. I'm going to be using these faux lemons again that are from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to take my drill and I'm going to drill each of them like slanted at like a sideways angle type of thing. Personal preference, again, I just thought it would be a really cool look to have one slanted this way, the other slanted the opposite way, and so forth. So once I had those holes in there, I'm just taking my jute twine and I took the drill bit out of the drill and I just wrapped that jute twine around there a really good amount of times, and then just shoved it through the holes that I made on the lemons just to pull that jute twine through. And this really helped it to just pop right through. It made it so easy. I tried to do it without the drill bit and there was just no way that the jute twine was going to get through there. So I had to come up with a plan and that's what I came up with. After that, I just started stringing on some of my raw wooden beads that are from Amazon again. And honestly, no special order. It's just about personal preference with this. I used some like beads that are on the smaller side just for the top, but then like doing the strands down, I did a variation of small and like larger beads as well. So it's honestly up to you. Whatever you feel like is going to look good or that you like, go ahead and do it. And I just strung everything all the way until I got to the bottom, until I was happy with like the length of it. Obviously I wanted the 3 lemons on there and oh my gosh, I can't talk. And then just a little bit hanging at the end as well. And once I tied up the end, I just took these little chalkboard tags that are from Dollar Tree. I took one of them and then just tied them at the very end as well. Added some hot glue just to make sure everything was going to be nice and secure. After that, I went to my Cricut and I printed off this cute little saying. It says, "Cover me in sunshine." Absolutely adorable. I'm obsessed. I thought it was just the perfect touch to add to this lemon garland. I printed it out in a yellow vinyl, which I thought really, just emphasized the lemon feel and the lemon vibe. So once I had the little saying on there, I just decided that I needed to color my beads. So I ended up painting them white using my white Waverly chalk paint. I would definitely recommend that you figure out your color scheme before you add the beads on, because I had to tape off the lemons and it was just a hassle. So I definitely wish I would have painted them before, but I really thought the natural color was going to look okay. But once it was all said and done, I didn't really care for it. So I painted them white and I absolutely love the way it turned out. Here is how the little garland turned out. Super cute. Also, here in a second you will see that I added a little two-toned bow on it using the lemon ribbon and then the black and white gingham check from Dollar Tree. I completely spaced it when I was filming this part. I knew I wanted to add the bow, but I totally forgot. But it is here in the final walkthrough, which you will see in a second. But again, I really love this piece. I think the cover me in sunshine part is just it's the perfect touch. I love, love, love it. Alrighty, well, like I just mentioned, it is final walkthrough time. Yay, so exciting. I love final walkthrough time. I am honestly so eager to see which one of these is your guys' favorites. Is there one that maybe stands out more than the others to you? I would love to hear. I'm dying to hear. I can't wait. Honestly, all of these were so quick and easy, pretty simple. The only one for me that took the longest was that garland, because unfortunately I really thought I was going to leave the beads like in that raw natural state, but I decided that they definitely needed some color. So if I would have painted them before I added them to the string, yes, it would have been, so much quicker. But yeah, for the most part, so quick and easy, and you really don't need like a lot of different items as well. I tried to use a lot of similar items to show you that you can make so many different projects using some of the same items, which I really think that's really, really cool. So Thank you guys so much for being here and watching, spending your time with me. I'm so glad and happy to have you here. Definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And again, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time.